This is a simple tutorial on how to use Canva to create our own logo and also a brand planner. So now is the fun part. We're going to use this plan to create our own logo. First things first, we want some shapes for our logo. Maybe you want a circular logo. What we're going to do is go back to Elements on the left, and you might have to click on this arrow to go back from Photos because we're going to use either shapes or graphics. You can click on Shapes, and here there are lots of different shapes that you can use. So let's say you want a circular logo. What you'll do is under Basic Shapes, you can click on the circle. You can also click See All, and here are some more basic shapes to choose from. Let's say I want this. Okay. So now I'm going to click and drag it to the top here. But maybe you don't want a solid circle. Maybe you don't want it to be this color. I'm going to show you how you can make just a border and not a color circle. Well, first you need to add a border so you can see it, because if we take away the color, it will all be white. So let's add a border to this circle. I'm going to click here. This says stroke style. So the stroke is the border. So you can see, you can have all sorts of different borders. That's just the solid line, and the stroke weight is how thick the border is. So let's make this maybe 4 or 3. Okay. Now we want to erase the color, the pink. I just want the border, but no color in the middle. So to erase that, or even change the color, you click on the circle, click on the color wheel, and over on the side, you see no color. Okay, so if I click that, well, now I just have the circle outline. I might also want the color, but I want it to be this sandy color or pink or something else. Now remember, you can use any of the colors from your brand, and that's what we want you to do. So they should be saved up here because we were just using them. But if you want to make sure they're the same ones that we chose, all you have to do is click Add a New Color. You can see this color code matches. So this pink is the same one we had, okay? But I don't want a color. I actually want to change the color of the border from black to pink or blue. To change the border color, see here, this says stroke color, and it's currently black. So I'm going to click on it, and I want to change that to the blue of my brand. And you can see it's the same, okay? So I'm just going to change it, and now I have my blue color. Okay, what else can I do? I'm going to click the arrow to go back to shapes, and I just want to go back to elements. I'm going to type in waves, and let's see if there are any cool graphics I can use. So I can see here graphics. I'm going to click See All. And here are some cool little graphics I can choose from. Let's say I like this one here, this little one. That's kind of cool. I want to adjust the size and put it inside of my circle. To adjust the size, you just click on one of the corners and you can just pull it in, click and drag it in or out, okay? So maybe something like that. Well, how do I change the color of this? So most elements, if it's a graphic, you can change the color. Not all of them, but this one you can. And I know that because I've clicked on it and I can see there's black and this is black. So I want to make this the blue that I had before. So again, you click on the color and now I'm going to click on the blue. And now I have it matching my brand. Okay, so I want to add some font because my brand name is Surfs Up Tours. So to add a new text box, you can click here on text, add a text box. Okay, and this has brought some text down here. Well, I'm going to change this. I'm actually going to write Surf's Up, and I want Tours to be in a different font. So let's say Surf's Up, I want to be the same as Check-in. I can click and drag to adjust the font size or adjust it over here. But I want to change the font so it's the Check-in. So I've clicked on it over to the side. I am just going to start typing in Check-in, and there it is. So now it's in the Check-in font. So I'm going to click, bring that over here. Okay, but I really want it to be curved around the circle, and I want to change the color to pink. So I'm going to click, double click to highlight all, click on text color, and I'm going to click on my pink that I know matches my brand. All right. How do I make it so it will curve with the circle? Once again, click on the text, click on effects. And you can see there are lots of cool effects you can add. You can add a glow, echo, you can add a shadow. And if you want to curve the text, you click here on shape. See how it's curved? And you can curve it either way by clicking on this slider here. So, maybe something like that. You can just click and experiment with it. So maybe something like that. Okay, now I want Tours down here. So I can add a text box again, but an easier way to do that is just to click here on the Aloha text box and Control C to copy, or right click copy, and then Control V to paste, or right click paste. And I can just use that up here. So I'm going to put Tours, and I'm going to make Tours capital letters. Surf's Up Tours. I want this nice and big. And I want to change the color of this as well. So I'm going to click on text color, and I'll make it pink as well. Now, once again, I want to make it curved so it follows the other side of the circle. I'll click on Effects, Curve, and this time we go the other way. So it's going to go up a little bit. Click and drag to adjust the size. You can even click to rotate it. So you can just experiment a bit with it until you are happy. And you might even decide, you know what, I want this to be the same font as the other one. So I'm going to change that to Check-in. Okay, so now let's add another icon to finish off this logo. So I'm going to click on Elements, and I'm going to type in Surfboard. And under Graphics, see all. Just scan to see if there's one I like. All right, I'm going to use this one right here. So I'm going to click and make it a bit smaller. I'm going to put it somewhere like this. Now, one thing I want to show you is if you want to change the position of this, you can right click, layer, and you can bring it to the front or send it to the back if you wanted it behind the wave. So that's one way to experiment with positioning. Now I'm going to change this. The colors, you can see here, I can customize all of these colors. So I'm just going to change the colors so they match my brand colors. All right, I think that looks pretty good. Now what I want to do is put it over on this side of my brand planner because I want to have a couple different options. So I'm going to click and drag, and you can see that I'm highlighting all of the different elements in the logo. So I'm going to group it together and just drag it over here. And now every time I click on it, it's in its own group. Okay. So I'm going to right click, copy or Control C, and then right click, paste or Control V. And I'm going to try a different variation of this logo as well. Now, if you want to make any adjustments to it, you'll have to ungroup it. So now you can play around with these individually. Okay, so this time I want to experiment with the colors of this other logo. So I'm going to click on the circle, and this time I want to add a color. So I'll click here where you can see the transparent no background color, and I want to try making it like a sandy color. So I think that looks pretty cool. Maybe I want to change the font to blue instead of pink. So I'll click on that, and so this is just a fun way that you can experiment with different versions of your logo. So once I have that ready, I'm going to click group. And now I can reposition it wherever I want on the page. Okay, so now we have two variations of our logo. And so the last thing we want you to do is click here on add page. And now we're going to paste our final logo here. I'm going to go back to the first page. Well, I like both of them actually, but I'm going to go with this second one. I like the background color. So I'll just click on it, right click, copy, and I'm just going to right click, paste. And then I'm just going to adjust the size, make it nice and big. So this is my final logo. So now we have our brand planner on page 1, and on page 2 we have our final logo. So over here on the side, we can change the name. So Surf's Up, Brand Planner, and Logo Design. I'm going to change the name of my file. And to download the file, just click Share. And you're going to click Download. And we're going to download both files. They will be zipped together. But you can see here, this is how you would change the file format. And if you wanted a transparent background, so the white part wouldn't be exported, you'd click on that. But for now, we're just going to uncheck it and export both of them and then click download. And then that will download both files together in a zip file. But if you just wanted to download one, like just the logo with a transparent background, we'll go Share, Download, and this time just going to select page 2 and click transparent background. Now this is a paid feature, so I'm not sure if everyone will have access to it. If not, just download it with the white background. It is easy enough to remove with free software. And then just click download. So the .png is the file format we need to preserve the transparent background. And now you can see there's no white. There's our final logo.